on your visors, O2 on, and prepare for ignition, 202. EPP, copy that, and initiating a full 10-4-4.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name. Ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Uh-oh, I got my friend up there. Yes, you'll see her in just a second. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You, O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you have joined me on today, y'all. It's Hump Day. Yes, it is Wednesday, May the 25th in the year 2022. I'm so glad that you joined me today, and it's just a blessing to have you here in the Lion's Den. Before I get started, I just want to make some observations. For all of you that came to Chazzy-licious is Cooking on yesterday, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so very much for your support in and outside of the Lion's Den. thank you. And I just, I cannot express to you how special you guys just make me feel. And I want to say once more and again, thank you, because I'll get to talking and I'll mess around and forget to acknowledge that. But your presence was greatly appreciated. Now, that being said, I want to go ahead and move forward on today with, how we get it started. Our regular, we look at Grandpa Holmes's chair and those that made it into the VIP section. And on yesterday, bright and early, it's this morning because y'all are coming in here at 12 o'clock and after, but I mean, y'all, my goodness, y'all really mean this thing. Yes, I said, like the old saints used to say, I mean Jesus every step of the way. That's the way y'all come in the Lion's Den for that VIP section, bringing the love, joy, peace, and happiness. I appreciate every last one of you for how you come in the Lion's Den and get it ready to make sure we're full of love in the Lion's Den when we get here at 7 o'clock in the morning Central Time. Now, let's look at what happened in the Lion's Den. I want to appreciate the usher that came in. Yes, Miss Fabulous. She was number 4. She was number 4 early this morning, but she came in giving all of her love to the Lion's Den and saying, let's roar. Mel Holiday, otherwise known as Miss Fabulous, thank you so much. And the usher is on duty. Now, the third person to get into the Lion's Den, on today. Listen, I am appreciative. I am so happy and thankful that we got some representation of the brethren, because yes, the third person in the Lion's Den was none other than Truck driver, you did that thing, and I want to appreciate you. Yes, sir. I'm coming down trying to find. There he is. Yes, there's that handsome brother. That's my brother right there. I tell you, I love you. I call him Mufasa. That is my Lion King right there. Yes, it is. Now, the second person to make it into the Lion's Den on yesterday was none other than Anita Harvey, you did that thing. You were there just a few after 12 o'clock. But listen, I tell you what, there was somebody that had already made their way in. But I want to say thank you to you for coming in, and go ahead and sit on that love seat. Tell truck driver to scooch over just a little bit, because it's time to put your lips, hips, and fingertips on that love seat. Thank you so much for coming in. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair is none other than Kai Chick, the evangelist, y'all. She did that thing. Yes, she came in. She was ready. She got her lips, hips, and her fingertips on that Grandpa Holmes's chair. Listen, sis, go ahead and stretch out. That's the evangelist, y'all. That's the evangelist. And we want to congratulate you. Congratulations. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair. Go ahead and make yourself comfy. Yes, do that. Now listen, I want to say this about Kai Chick, and I'm going to leave her picture up there just a little bit longer, and y'all can keep congratulating her, because I tell you what, she comes in and she does her thing in the Lion's Den. I call her the evangelist because she goes out into the highways and hedges and compels folks to come. Those gifted subs, I'm telling you, mother goes to town. She goes to work and she does not play. Now, she said something earlier, and I want to address it, Kai Chick. I appreciate you. She again re-upped. She resubbed this morning and has been here 10 months in a row, subbing and as a subscriber. And she commented in the chat section just a few minutes ago that she's grateful to myself and the Lion's Den, because we are family, that she came in 10 months ago defeated. But I want to say, Kai Chick, as I said in the chat, it was in you. Yes, you. That's why we call it that. Yes, you. Sometimes we just need to understand and recognize, while we're looking at others and we recognize them for what they're doing, their capabilities, capabilities, their power. But I want everybody that comes into Yes You to understand you have the power. Yes, you have seeds of greatness. Yes, you have the ability. Yes, you have boss energy. Yes, you. And this is all I can say though to you, Kai Chick, is that I can talk till the cows come home, but it takes an individual to activate that spidey power. You understand what I'm saying? It takes the individual to go ahead and decide, this is what I want for my life, and this is the way I'm going to roll. This is the way I'm going. And you did that. Yes, you did. You've done that. I want to congratulate you for your elevation. Yes, for that promotion that you received on your job, for the reality of your tenacity that said, I'm going to apply 8 times. I've been turned down 8 times, but I'm going to go back again after the 8th time and do it again and watch what God does. Your tenacity and your persistence to just keep pushing and moving upward. That's all you, sis. That's all you. And I just want to stop and acknowledge that this morning, appreciate you this morning, and say, do your thing. As I tell my folks, work your jelly. Come on and give it up for Kai Chick. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. God bless you. God bless you, sis. You are all that. Yes, you are. And the bag of chips. Do your thing. Now, you know how we do it over here. We like to appreciate our moderators. They do such an excellent job. Come on with that boss energy. Come on with that boss energy. Yes, do your thing, Kai Chick. Do your thing. And, that's how we do it over here in the Lion's Den. And it's not just myself, but her appreciation to the Lion's Den. I want to thank you, Lions, for being here to support everyone on their journey. It's not just me, STL, but the Lions in the Lion's Den. You guys are so very powerful. Your support, your encouragement, your undergirding of one another. I just appreciate you as well, because please rest assured, I could not on my own do and make happen what's happening here in the Lion's Den. But it takes every last one of you that come in here daily and share your love and support. I thank you as well. Come on and give it up for yourselves. Yes, that's for the Lions and the Lion's Den. Thank you. Y'all too much. You're too much. Now, and we are taken care of. We are loved. We are supported by our moderators. Let's start with that Shelly Thunder. Y'all know who she is. Yes, I call her the prophetess. Up above my head, I hear thunder in the air, and there must be a Shelly Thunder somewhere. I appreciate her because I'm telling you what, she is a whole blessing and a whole vibe all by herself. Thank you, Shelly Thunder. Giving that mod love up to you. And of course, we're led by the leader of the pack, the Rebel Inc. Yes, that's my day one. She's been here from day one, and I appreciate her. And she's always present and accounted for, even during the time of her sickness. And I praise God for the healing virtue that's flowing in and through her even right now. But even during the time of her sickness, she never left her post moderating in the Lion's Den. And I just appreciate her. I call her my old faithful. And the galactic supervisor, not the district supervisor, not the state supervisor, not the national supervisor. She is the galactic supervisor because she got galaxies under her realm and power and control. That's the galactic supervisor right there. Now, listen, we will be raiding out when we leave here. She's got anti-morning bangos working this morning. So if y'all want a good belly laugh and a good enjoyable time, come on over. We got anti-morning bangos that we will be raiding into the Rebel Inc. Don't miss it. And she has added a video segment to that is just child. It'll have you almost sick with laughter. Now, the third part of the Trinity, the blessed Trinity, none other than Michelle Brownell. That's my girl and my quiet storm. I say she can change the atmosphere just by being in your presence and in your midst. That's the way they roll. These beautiful ladies, take a good look at them, and we're going to give them some applause on today. just awesome. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. I love every last one of them. Now, let's get this party crack-a-lacking and let's get this party started, because you know how we do. I like to come around and speak to everybody. When you come into the room, my mother said, you speak to somebody. So come on, let's get the coffee cups out. Let's get the coffee cups out. Let's get the coffee cups out. And I want to just come over and take my time and say good morning to everybody that's in my chat this morning. And with that, come through, Stacy 546, good morning to you. SK 8843, good morning to you. I see you roaring. I'm coming on down and I'm looking and I'm booking and I see Kai Chick. Yes, that beautiful sister. I want to say good morning to you and so much love to you right back. Cassandra Isaiah, and I saw you in Chazzylicious' cooking on yesterday. Good morning to you. I appreciate you, sis. Mad love coming to you. Coming on down and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking it out. And the Rebel Inc., yes, the Galactic Supervisor is here. Fairly All Day, y'all know this is my dearest friend. Fairly All Day is here. Good morning to you. And I got to give you some heads up. My family done fell in love with you. My brother-in-law, as he lay in the hospital. Honey, I had a good conversation with him on yesterday. And let me tell you, Fairly All Day, your name was ringing in my ears. Because listen, you might as well say you family in my household. You just family in my household, because my family loves you, girl. They just love you. Good morning to you, Fairly All Day, and have a blessed one. BTD Mom, thank you for that resubscription. 20 months in a row you've been hanging with me, sis. Thank you so much. And good morning to you. That's my blood sister right there, as well as SK8843. I'm proud of my sisters. I just love them. I love them. I love them. Now coming on down and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking it out, and I'm going to say Tall Pumps is pumping tall. Good morning to you. And she is the moderator over there with Woman Unsilenced, y'all. And she did a phenomenal job on yesterday. Woman Unsilenced had two young men that were just awesome. And I tell you what, you want to get over there and be a part of that. Tall Pumps, I love you. The Gift, Nathan Lamont. I just need one good squall from you, baby. Just one good squall this morning, and we're going to go on in on that good squall. Come through. Coming on down, and I see Rashida Renee. Come on. I appreciate you, sis. And thank you for encouraging the people from Facebook. I'm just going to piggyback on what she said. You know, Facebook these social media sites are getting a little what I want to say nitpicky about what goes on in the channel, and you know, I still have, even though y'all don't know it, I still have on a daily where I have to go out and argue with Facebook to get my stream put back up. So yes, we will eventually be transitioning away from Facebook. So those of you in Facebook, I'm gonna encourage you, hit that link that she put in there for YouTube, because listen, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Now coming on down, MCP 812, I see you, my sister. Come on in here. So much love to you, and I appreciate you. Hugs, love, kisses, all of that coming to you this morning. I love you, sis. That's my sister cousin, y'all. That's my sister cousin, and I just love her to pieces. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking, and I want to make sure I get everybody that's in my chat this morning. I don't want to miss not near one. I want everybody that's in this chat this morning to get a good morning from me, because I want you to know sincerely and genuinely I appreciate you for being in this here chat. Now, I think I got everybody. Let me come on. I appreciate you. I'm coming on down. I'm scrolling a little faster. All right. I think I got everybody that's in my chat. And to those that are not in the chat, but you are here, I want to say thank you to you. I appreciate you so very much. Now, let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Let's get this party started. And we're going to go ahead and talk just a little bit. Wow. We slept and slobbered, y'all. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, let's talk about a little bit of what had happened was. What had happened was, when I rose this morning, I found out that what had happened was, there are a few things that were going on And I'm going to start, my goodness, unfortunately, with this story that I know is dominating all the headlines this morning, because it's just dastardly, y'all. It's just dastardly. Before I even say it, you already know where I'm going. You already know where I'm going. So let me just go ahead. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. I see you getting your coffee cups out. I see you getting the coffee cups out. It was nothing. Royal Confessions. Dastardly. It was just dastardly. As a matter of fact, let me say, I was talking to Royal Confessions on yesterday on the phone when the breaking news came out about all of those babies that were slaughtered down there in Texas. Now, you know, I'm going to tell you, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Now, I want to talk just a little bit, and I'm going to deal and our prayers, y'all, our prayers. Let me come out of this so I can at least go back, because I want to put prayers in here for a second, because we are praying now. But this is what I want to say about this. America, watching our babies get killed and slaughtered like animals, and then for us to come behind and do our prayers are with the family.
You shall not pass!
We need more than prayers with the family. Now, you know how it is, and this is the religiosity of this country. Now, y'all know how I do over here. No cream, no sugar. I take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. The religiosity in this country that we think it's sufficient to say, in God we trust. We hear the presidents at the end of every speech say, God bless America. And then after every last one of these tragedies, we want to say we're praying for the family. That religiosity is not going to fly. You need to do something to stop this mess. Now, at the end of the day, I have to say it's amazing to me how we have come here in this day and time, that we seem, from Sandy Hook to the present, we seem to not care about taking care of our babies while we're split 50-50 in the Senate over some stupid stuff. Instead of thoughts and prayers, how about some policy changes, Royal Confessions? How about that? I'm sick of we're praying for the family, and half of y'all lying. You ain't praying for nobody's family. You're praying that it doesn't happen to your family. That's the real prayer that you're praying. Lord, please don't let this happen to my family. But you ain't praying for these families. But it's politically correct to come out saying this statement. We're praying for the families of those that lost loved ones. Baby, when your child has been slaughtered, your child has been riddled with bullets, and you go and you're at the school, parents wanting to know, where is my child? Because there was a period of time where they didn't know their children were unaccounted for because reports had not been given out, and people were having to give DNA and all this kind of stuff. You know what? I'm going to say I'm done with us saying God bless America. I'm done with saying in God we trust. I'm done with us saying that we're praying for the families of those that have been slaughtered, because at the end of the day, I just want you to understand that is not enough. And as some folks say, some of them prayers that y'all praying ain't going no further than your roof. So at the end of the day, we need policy changes. Do you know the magic number is 10? The magic number is 10. What do you mean, STL? It was 10 days from the last mass shooting. 10 days, y'all, from the last mass shooting. And then here we have all of these babies and teachers that were slain by this. Now, you know, I'm just so aggravated. I'm just so aggravated. And then when I look at those two supposed to be Democrats that are constantly voting in the Republican vein, I just, listen.
Why you always lying?
You ain't no Democrat. And I'm not even talking about being on a partisan type of a trip, but I'm saying this. If you're going to be a Democrat and you're always voting Republican, and note that the Republicans never break their ranks, they always vote Republican, and you just keep on Manchin, you just keep on Sinema voting for the Republican side that keeps blocking and stopping legislation and policy changes to address some of this dastardly stuff that's happening to the people. And even as the man said yesterday before the basketball game even started, he talked with the media and said, look, because his father was a victim. His father was a victim of an assassination by some guns that really don't need to be out here in circulation. And the point being, this block that we cannot seem to break, and this chain and this murderous spirit that's out here, but the NRA and the people from the gun lobbyists have the ability to keep us in this constant turmoil by not being able to shut this stuff down. It's got to change. That's all I can say. It's got to change. Now, let me tell you what. Let me take the praying folk down, because listen, I'm not in a prayerful mood right now. Listen, this is where I am. Now, as we talked, and let me tell you how dastardly this was. Just dastardly. Yes. I'm on a roll here. It was just dastardly, because I want you to understand, when people saw the name, and I went out there and I looked at it, folks. People saw the name, saw a Hispanic name, a Hispanic sounding name. And I cannot tell you how many times I looked at people saying they keep crossing the borders. That baby was born and homegrown in the United States of these here Americas. Now, to imply just by the sound of his name, how racist is that? To imply that by the sound of his name, he was an illegal alien that had crossed the border and done this dastardly deed. I was never so offended in all my life. I could not believe these folk that were coming out talking about, this is why we need Border Patrol. This is why we need heightened. This child was born and grown in the United States of America. Now, that's the kind of foolishness that we have to keep dealing with. That's the type of, listen, and at the end of the day,
you shall not pass!
Thank you, Kai Chick. So much love to you, sis. Work and lurk. Work your jelly. At the end of the day, I said, how in the whole heaven and earth did somebody fix their lips to talk about folks crossing and coming into the country from the border when this baby was born in the United States of America? But we don't want to admit, we don't want to acknowledge that we're raising homegrown terrorists in this country. That's what we don't want to deal with. Now, to substantiate what I'm saying, y'all, and I can't stay on this too long, because listen, my blood is just boiling, because we just 10 days, that's the magic number, 10 days since Buffalo, 10 days since Buffalo in these here United States of America. God bless America. We're praying for the families. Don't pray for me, do something. Now, I want to address this right here. The number of mass shootings in the United States between 1982 and May 2022 by shooters' race and ethnicity. Y'all ain't ready for me this morning. Y'all just ain't ready for me this morning. Look at those numbers. While we talking about we need tighter borders. We need to enhance and upgrade keeping folks from coming in, because they're coming in doing all of these ugly, all of these terrible, all of these horrific crimes in our country. I want y'all to look at this. And I ain't trying to be ugly. I ain't trying to be racist. Y'all know how I do in here. No cream, no sugar. Listen, we take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it is. Good morning, Simply Amazing. Come on in here. And I see your broken heart. I see your broken heart because it's just horrible. Now, while we want to talk about tightening the borders and we don't want them here, this is our country and we don't want, as if the United States of America is not a melting pot that has people from everywhere, because none of us are indigenous to this land other than the Native Americans, some Hispanics that were here and were here before they came over here and invaded some land that belonged to other folk and they took it over, as we want to celebrate Columbus discovering America. Now, I want you to look at these numbers. I want you to look at how even the difference between police and, oh, and by the way, are we surprised that the shooter didn't survive? Is anybody in here surprised that the shooter didn't survive? Anybody? But yet and still, explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me how these young white homegrown brothers can kill up all kinds of people and they're apprehended alive. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. But I want you to look at these statistics. I want you to look at these statistics that I have in front of you. And I want us to understand, listen, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Jim Jones is loose. The spirit of Guyana is loose. Jim Jones is all up in this Kool-Aid. Don't drink it. Look at this. Let's start at the bottom. The number of incidents from unknown and unclear. Good morning, Mish. Hey, come on in here. She did her good cooking on yesterday, y'all. She is a food and drink streamer. You all, please follow Mish 8 if you're not following her. Last night's stream was great, sis. Thank you for coming in this morning. Good morning to you. Stacy, kind of hard to discover a place that's already been inhabited. You think? Now, this is what I want us to deal with, because we really need to take a note and a notice to these statistics so we can stop buying into this insanity that folks are out here pushing. Black or brown, they'll take them down. SK, you said a mouthful right there. Black or brown, they'll take them down. But these little white brothers out here and then argue for their mental health, argue that their brains are not fully formed, argue all of this stuff and apprehend them alive. Houston, there is a problem. Now look at this. Unknown or unclear, 12. Native American that have come out in mass shootings, 3. Other, 5. Asian, 8. Latino, 10. Black, 21. White, 68. Pink Assassin, come on in here, sis. I love you. Come on in, come on in, come on in. This is another moderator. I appreciate you for being here and come through. This country is broken as all get out. We need a ban. Caucasian descendants failed to admit January 6th, Sandy Hook, Southern Cal shooting, Columbine. We can go on and on and on and on, Pink Assassins. And at the end of the day, some way, somehow, we manage to take these little white brothers alive while we shoot to kill everybody else. Honey, what did she say? Black and brown, we take them down. And at the end of the day, this is what I want us to come on here, Pink Assassins. Y'all follow her. Look at, she's getting that sip, honey. She's getting that sip. I I want us to understand. Gloria Fudge, come on in here. Jesus is needed here to reveal all, Gloria Fudge. As we look at this scenario, I want y'all to look at those statistics, and then I want you to listen to the rhetoric that you hear coming from even the national politicians. And I cracked. Now, I'm going to just tell the truth and shame the devil. I cracked because the governor of Texas cussed Ted Cruz on yesterday on Twitter. The governor of Texas said, Ted, we've had enough of your stuff. We've had enough of your foolishness. And the Joker came out cussing. The governor of Texas came out cussing. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Ted, shut up. And he had all kind of F-bombs flying around there. He had all kind of F-bombs for Ted Cruz on yesterday. And we don't want your prayers. And we don't need you praying for the family. And then went on back and told him, you just go on back to Cancun. You just go on back to Cancun, Ted. We sick of you and all your antics. I said the governor got me cracking up. The governor had me rolling, honey, and we don't want you back. All Pink Assassins, you got to go out there and read the governor of Texas tweets to Ted Cruz. They were the cracks. That man went off. That man let it loose with both barrels. Now, he had an official statement that he did somewhere else. But, honey, when he went to tweeting on his personal account, honey, the governor of Texas let Ted Cruz have it with both barrels and then went after a few of the others, too, as well. So, and Cinema and Manchin was right there in the number. And I said, as well it should be, because we don't need your prayers. We need policy changes. That's what we need. So at the end of the day, and the death toll, you still got children that have survived that are still fighting for their lives. So that death toll may in fact increase. I tell you, it just, at this point, in your paint cup, I just saw that, a Pink Assassin, in your paint cup. I love it. You take your sip, girl. Take your sip. To me, it seems like they are saying white kids are mentally deficient. No argument there. So they can't kill them. Why not? And at the end of the day, I want to say, I agree. Governor Abbott is part of the problem too. They all in cahoots with this foolishness. At the end of the day, I'm going to say this, Stacey, we continuously see the dichotomy. There are two justice systems, without a doubt. And it's so apparent to us as we look and as we see and as we walk and as we talk, we have to recognize that, this scenario right here is another, what do I want to say, manifestation of how we have these two scenarios that go on. Because even the shooter at Buffalo, that young man, they're standing here talking to him while as we have dead bodies bleeding and laying on the ground in the store, outside in the parking lot. They can pull up on them, Stacey. They can pull up on him as he stands there armed, still armed. They did not disarm that young man, armed and just carrying on conversations. And like they talked him down from killing himself. That child wasn't going to kill himself. Because if he wanted to kill himself, he would have done it. At the end of the day, like they talked him down and then they apprehended him. And then, as I said, did they take him to McDonald's? Did they take him to Burger King? We don't want it. We don't know. But inquiring minds want to know, because that seems to be the behavior. And then immediately they started talking about his 18-year-old brain not being fully formed. They started talking about him and potential mental, all of this that we immediately, anytime time it's the white folks, and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back once more and again, because I just want you to see. I want you to see with your own natural born eyes. I want you to see this statistic right here. I want you to see it. 68 number of incidents involving white children or white people, and they're grown. At the end of the day, how is it that we so frequently, unless they die at their own hands with the white folks, we so frequently are able, while they're yet armed, Buffalo, while they're yet armed, we're still able to apprehend them and take them into custody and buy them Burger King if they want it. Give them vegan meals and a special diet in jail if they want it. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? This is the stuff that we got to start addressing, Stacey. This is the stuff we got to start really hitting home and saying, we're not going to take it. This shall not stand. You're not going to continue with this behavior. We see you. We see your hand. You've shown your hand all down through the annals of time. We've seen your hand, and yes, fairly all day, definitely two totally different systems going on in this country. When you talk about justice that's supposedly blind, but I think justice is peeking out from under the blindfold, and anytime justice sees white folks, they get a different reality. I said what I said. I said what I said. And to this blind justice system,
Why you always lying?
So there's no doubt that there's two justice systems. And when you look at the statistics, and again, today is the second anniversary of the George Floyd murder. And I'm coming to that, Nancy. But even in that, we're understanding that as we look at the scenario of the two justice systems, as we look at the scenario of them continuously, and I say them, the racist, bigoted white people and those that support them, because it's not just white people that want to keep talking about border patrol, border enhancement, detain these people, we don't want them in our country. What do you mean our country? We don't want them in our country. Look at those statistics right there. Even as they tried to wrongfully accuse this brother as having crossed the border, no, he was homegrown right here in the United States. And did I not add this? On his 18th birthday, went and bought these weapons. On his 18th birthday, went and bought these weapons. Now, let me not fail to mention that he shot his grandma and meant to shoot his grandma to death, but I understand she was life-flighted and survived. But we can't get gun control. Come on, we can sit in a drive-through, Pink Assassin, and get killed. That's the country in which we live. Now, this is what I want to say. This is what I've heard this morning on the news as an answer. They're saying that they now want to increase armed security in the schools. I'm a no. And teach and train teachers how to be armed, cocked and loaded in the classrooms. No. Now listen. No. The answer to the problem with guns is not more guns. If that's not insanity, if that's not the NRA laughing all the way to the bank, if that's not the gun lobbyists cheering and screaming, hooray, 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 the answer to the gun problem is definitely not more guns. And I don't want police officers armed, cocked and loaded, roaming through the schools with my children and my grandchildren. Because at the end of the day, what is allegedly supposed to be meant to keep the intruders out is going to end up having a lot of our babies killed from the inside. And at the end of the day, could it be the devil nothing but that old slimy devil. I do not want armed police officers coming into schools in drove and in higher numbers. I don't want them there now. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. How about you deal with the gun problem instead of putting more guns into school to supposedly and allegedly and hopefully keep the intruders out? No, ma'am, no, sir. That is not the answer. Come on, Tall Pumps. And you wonder if the number of mass shooters includes folks like Rittenhouse and them. Come on, you know Rittenhouse ain't gonna be in that number because he was acquitted of all charges. I think that number should be higher, and I agree with you. Listen, this is foolishness. They know the privilege and bias. Come on in here, acting brand new, Pink Assassin. I hear you. You don't know it's legal to purchase automatic. Look, come on here. At this point, they're doing a little bit of everything, Kai Chick. And then even like they wanted to say about the Buffalo shooter, that he had modified his weapon. Now you want to talk about his brain is not mature enough to understand the consequences of him going in Buffalo and shooting up all them black folk as he drove several hours to that location. As he shot folks in the parking lot as he was going in and shot folk up in there, then walked up on a white man and said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and turned around and went. But his mind had the capacity to modify that weapon. His mind had the ability to figure out how to enhance that gun, supposedly. You know what? I'm just, at this point, you just get sick of somebody said it, you get sick of the BS, because that's exactly what it is. It ain't nothing but that brown stuff, y'all. And the guns have control of the country, and Stacy 546, that's the way they want it. Now, there was a statistic that I had, but I didn't put in here, and it showed the states that had the highest rate of guns. I'm going to tell you what. At the end of the day, you already know it's all of those states. You can almost guess them and name them one by one and name by name. And it wasn't New York. It wasn't Chicago, Illinois. It wasn't any of those states. It is those red states. And they said the average number of guns in a household was 10 and up. Did you hear the words that came out? The average number of guns in a household was 10 and up. So yes, Stacy, the guns have control of this country. When you have the average number of guns. And then listen, let me tell you what one and I'm sure he probably voted for 45. And listen, y'all, you already know what's up. Kim Possible 711, good morning to you, sis. Come on in here, Pastor. You know, and I feel like this 9 times out of 10 when they don't have a human picture, but their status, their picture has the American flag. Their picture has some animal, some dog, some cat. Their picture doesn't put their face on it. You can almost guarantee some joker with a dog for his picture had up there, "Oh, we got to do some work. I want my state to be higher on the list." SK, I'm going to hydrate. I see you. Let me hydrate. Yes, this joker with his dog as his picture. And I'm sick of that. If you got so much to say and you got all of this you want to talk about, put your natural picture up there. I'm tired of looking at the American flag. I'm tired of looking at your dog. I'm tired of looking at your cat. I'm tired of looking at some beautiful flower bed. Put your raggedy picture up there so we can see who you are, since you want to talk so mean and nasty. I'm going to hydrate. This joker had the nerve to say, we got to do better work. I thought our state would be higher on the list. Oh, that's what he said. That's what he said. So are we bringing more guns to the gunfight? Exactly, Pink Assassins. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. And then what's going to happen? It's a raid, y'all. It's a raid. Come on in here. Come on in here. Oh my goodness. Come through. Come through. Come through. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh.
Big Moochie, baby. Hey, come on, right now. This is going out to the entire set, man. You hear me? This is going out to the whole entire set. Hear my last
KB Browns, I see you, my brother. Come on in here, LaWanda Baskerville. I see you, sis. Come on in here. One Reason and the Gospel Takeover. The raid is here, y'all. Wins 2000. Kiki B. Come on in the room. I see you, Designers Original. Natty Dread. Come on. Sight Giver. Miss Frosty 60803. Come on in here. Shelly Thunder. Miss Robin. Come on in the room, sis. So much love to you, Misty Blue 3. Come on in here. Oh my goodness. Y'all better break it off. Break it off. Break it off. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Come through, Designers Original. Den Darn, I see ya. Come on up in here, peoples. Doglegs, come on, mother. There's the mother of Twitch. That's the church mother right there. Doglegs, she's in the room. Step on over to her. To the right. To your left. Now walk it on back. Bronx 2, come on in here. I appreciate you and thank you for the raid. 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 Come on. Now listen, this is the way we do it in the line. Big Moochie, baby. That's the way we do it, KB Browns. That's the way we do it. Big Moochie comes in with that greeting. Now I want to say thank you to the Bishop of Twitch. Yes, One Reason came in. One Reason brought his beautiful family over. Miss P. Smitty 15, I see you coming in. Thank you for coming in, sis. I appreciate the Bishop of Twitch. If you are not following One Reason, I want you to know you need to follow him not now, but right now, as DJ LV says. Listen, follow right now because this brother will bless your whole soul, your whole vibe and everything. I promise you'll get a good blessing. So at the end of the day, One Reason, I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. I surely do. Now, as you all came in, we were having this conversation and tell me how they're going to stop the guns. Tell me how they're going to stop the drugs. Tell me something. Listen, we need some legislation up in here. You like that picture? You like that picture, Reason? That's my bishop. That's my bishop. I'm going to put this up once more and again for our Raiders that came in. And we're talking about the tragedy, the travesty of yesterday's shooting and the fact that we don't need folks praying. We need policy changes. We don't need, and you know, y'all can be offended with my statement if you want to. We don't need folks praying. We need policy changes. Because listen, at the end of the day, we need to stop this madness. And I also addressed the point that people tried to allude to the idea that this young man, because his name sounds Hispanic in origin, had crossed the borders. But I want to stress and press the point. He was homegrown right here in these United States of America. So stop with that madness. Stop with the racist rhetoric. Stop with the lie, because it's not so. So at the end of the day, we're looking at that statistic that you see right there on the board, the statistics between 1982 to 2022 by race, and look at these shooters while they want to block the borders, while they want to talk all this stuff. And I want you to be very clear. And I put this up for a reason, again, for our Raiders coming in, because you're going to hear all kinds of rhetoric. You're going to hear all kinds of discussion in the upcoming days. But I want you to pay attention, because at the end of the day, the ones that are doing all the talking about about blocking everybody out from all these dastardly deeds are the ones that are doing all the shoot 'em up, killing folk in the streets. So at the end of the day, 12 unclear, and this is by ethnicity and race. 12 unclear, 3 Native American, 5 other, 8 Asian shooters, 10 Latino shooters, and again, these for mass shootings, 21 that have been black, and then wow, and there, the proof is in the pudding, 68 mass shootings, and as we've identified in here before y'all got here, that number actually should probably be higher. Brownie T 24, come on in here. So much love coming to you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. So at the end of the day, and again, my purpose in putting this up is not to be racist. My purpose in putting this up is so that we can identify you talking out of both sides of your neck, because the people that's doing the killing and the mass murdering, and you talking about trying to protect from everybody else. Listen, look at those numbers, because numbers tell the story. 68, almost 70. And as we said, I'm so sure that those numbers should actually be higher. And as somebody, was it Tall Pumps, it was Rittenhouse included in there? Probably, and I'm going to say not, because the child was acquitted of the charges. And he wasn't a child. Let me correct that. Because, honey, they want to treat him like a man. He want to shoot and kill like a man. He's a man. Y'all, I'm telling you. At the end of the day, I see you, Brownie T. Faith without works is dead. We need to pray for the ones in the positions to do something. Winston 2000, I need you to do something to get off the pot. I need you to do something. But this is what I'm saying. When you identify that the NRA has as much power and political clout as it has, when you understand that the gun lobbyists are doing their job and they're pouring money into all kind of people's till, when you understand that people are bought and paid for, nobody wants to address and make policy to stop and shut this down. But the solution that I already heard this morning was an idea. Is Chazzy Licious up in here? There's my girl. Chazzy Licious is in the room, y'all. That's my girl. And thank you to everybody that came and followed us over there. Chazzy, I love you. Good morning to you. So this is what I want to address. They've already come out this morning. I heard the 4 o'clock news where they're talking about putting more armed police officers in the school and teaching the teachers how to shoot and carry weapons in the classrooms. The answer to guns is not more guns. And that's what I said. The NRA and the gun lobbyists are laughing all the way to the bank. Instead of saying we need to restrict and put policy on these guns floating around out here, we are now having conversation once more and again about putting more guns in the situation by arming the teachers. And God knows I don't want more armed police officers patrolling around in our schools, because our black babies are going to wake up dead every day. You heard what I said. You put more armed police officers in our schools, more black babies, more black sons and daughters are going to wake up dead every day. Because the police officer, come on in here, Crazy Berry Town. So much love to you. That's my girl. She will Zumba you design. That's my beautiful friend. If you're not following Crazy Berry Town, I need you to do it right now. But at the end of the day, y'all, this is my concern, and this is my opposing to this idea of, and they've already started putting police officers in our school system. Y'all better wake up. That's already a done deal. Now you're talking about increasing. Listen, I'm not buying what y'all selling. Now you're talking about increasing the number of armed police officers in the schools to help protect. And they're going to be shooting down our black babies and talking about, I feared for my life. I feared for my life. No. Gloria, underground, above ground to find the guns, to get the people. Tell you, listen, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Come on, Tall Pumps, you just wondering, but ain't Cruz a Latino name? Come on and sip your coffee. Come on and get a sip. Come on and get a sip. At the end of the day, this brother has deluded himself. And there's a whole lot more I could say about that, but I'm going to leave that alone. We need counselors, therapists, honesty about how our children and country is mentally broken and scarred. And listen, let me tell you what. Somebody said that the Sugar Baby Lounge is in the room. Come on in here. Come on in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me come down and see. Oh, my goodness. We coming in here today. We're coming in here today. So much love, so much love, so much love. I appreciate you. Coming. My goodness. Y'all doing this thing up in here. Appreciate you so much. Come on, and I see you, Fuzzy Slippers. Come on in here. So much love coming to you. Sight Giver, did I miss you? I don't want to miss anybody. I want to make sure I got everybody. DJ Classics, she's in the room. She's a partner. She came in with all of her sugar. Come on in the room, DJ Classics. I just had to see your name. I wanted to make sure when I saw the Sugar Baby Lounge is here. So much love to you, and thank you for stopping by. So this again is a situation that we've got to pay attention, and the changes and the twists and the turns that DJ, that's my brother right there, DJ I Rock Jesus. Y'all better go out there and follow that brother. Come on and follow DJ Classics. Y'all come on up in here, and these streamers will bless your whole life. This brother right here, DJ I love DJ I Rock Jesus. That's my guy, because I want you to tell, I just want you to know, when you see what you see with this brother, he's 100% genuine. That's my guy. I love you, man. Thank you for coming on in the room. So at the end of the day, we're looking at this scenario and saying, thank you, Go Ratty. I see you. That's my guy. Come on in here. I'm looking, and I'm the one and only. I just looked up and saw you, sis. The one and only Keisha Key 36 is in the room this morning. Come on in here, sis, and mad love to you. Now, as we look at this scenario, again, I'm going to oppose the idea that the answer to the guns is putting more guns in there. And I'm speaking to whoever that was, because now I've scrolled down and I can't remember who said it, about the mental health. And yes, May is Mental Health Month. So somebody actually made a comment and has addressed the mental wellness or the lack thereof in the country. And listen, folks got mad. They got heated. We're not any more in need of mental health than any other country, yada, yada, yada. Now, see, you know, a hit dog will bark, you know, is that whatever that old adage is? A hit dog will holler. I think that's it. I had to bring it back from all of my old school talking. A hit dog will holler. And so when the folks came up and started hollering and screaming this morning, we don't need mental health. We're mentally well. These are a few demented. Quit lying. A hit dog will holler. All of y'all come out talking about there is no need, and we just have a few one-offs that are caught up, mentally deranged, whatever's going on with them. Listen, at the end of the day, quit lying. We need mental health and mental wellness. We need more of that in this country. And why are you offended that people are coming out and saying that? It's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. When we look at some of these folks that are in government and politics, they need mental health. When we look at some of these teachers that are in the classrooms getting these little babies and carrying on, they need mental health. When we look at all of these different scenarios of these young folks that are coming out deranged and crazy, they need mental health, and it's not a one-off. Quit lying.
Why you always lying?
No, ma'am, no, sir. It's not a one-off. It's a whole slew of imbalanced people. Come on, Simply. It was Marjorie Taylor Greene. It wasn't so much about what she said as it was it came for her to... Simply, you got language this morning. Millions of people are on the brink. And that is so true, Go Ratty, because listen, I'm going to tell you what, and can shift very easily. And you said a mouthful. Miss Germany 37, come on in here. It's so good to see you and have you in the midst. Come on in the Lion's Den. So much love to you. You are telling the truth, because I had conversations, and I'm going to be real serious on this. I had conversations on yesterday, and I can attest to the fact that not only these deranged homegrown terrorists, but everyday people that have now had tremendous weight to carry from being shuttered in from the pandemic, from all of the different things. Now, you know, some people are cut off. And this is what I want to address. As you said, Go Ratty, you spoke a mouthful. There are millions of people that are on the brink right now. So as I found myself in conversations on yesterday, the reality of it is, it's not just these homegrown terrorists that are out here on the brink of shifting over to the wrong side. They get ready to go over to the dark side. But even people, you know, that otherwise you would not expect, but they're on the brink and they're shifting over. I think, and our prayers are still going out to MCP 812, even as we deal with the reality of the young life and these young people. This is some stuff that we really got to talk about. These young people are taking their own lives. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. These young people are taking their own lives, hanging themselves. You know, during the pandemic, I've had to serve in the capacity as an officiant for young folks hanging themselves, killing themselves. People are on the brink. They are on the brink. And even yesterday, as MCP 812 came in and shared, and we started praying for the family of the young man in his suicide. There are a lot of mental health needs. There are a lot of mental health needs. And go ahead and put that in there, moderator. We always keep the suicide hotline prevention number someplace handy. And we always encourage, baby, get you some help. We're here for you. The Lion's Den. We're here for you. Call a professional, reach out, touch somebody. But there are a lot of people, millions of people that are right there on the brink. And at the end of the day, for people to come out, Marjorie Taylor Greene, to come out and be offended that somebody implied that the country is in a mental health crisis. It's the truth. It's the whole truth. And it's nothing but the truth. So help me God. And this is something that we are going to have to address. And you know my stance on that, beloveds. I am that one. And I am an advocate for proactive mental wellness, not just when I sense that me or someone in my family is mentally ill. I want you to do proactive maintenance for your mental health, just like you do for your checkup for your body, head to toe. I want you to do that same thing for your mind, body, and soul. Keep that checkup going and do preventive and proactive. Don't just wait until something happens and say, let me run and get it taken care of. Because mental health is something that we must push. We must drive. And listen, there's a lot everywhere you turn. People are dealing with mental health issues. So at the end of the day, come on, I hear you, Tall Pumps. They don't need mental health because their brain isn't fully developed, right? I get that. And I understand when you want to use it as an excuse to not be accountable for your actions. We're not playing that little game. But at the same time, I do have to address, did y'all see the young man that did all the shooting up yesterday that rammed his car into the ditch? For what reason? For what reason? You know, these folk need help. And at the end of the day, you know, we look, we observe, we pay attention, and we need to really recognize, and I'm gonna say it again, even within our governmental system, I feel like we need to have some assessments done, because some of these folks with their lips, hips, and fingertips sitting in these governmental positions, these folk are crazy. So at the end of the day, and I mean mentally ill, something is not, listen, the elevator doesn't go all the way to the top, whatever other little you want to put in there, something is not right. Something is not right. And then when we're being led, listen, if the blind lead the blind, everybody's going to the ditch. So this is an area that I want us to take very seriously, that the wealth, the health of our mental capacities and our mental state, we really need to stop as a country and say, the same way y'all take care and provide for all of these areas, I want us to also have mental health that's provided. I want us to have health care for our bodies that are provided. Mike City, Mike City, come on in the room, my God. Hey, you're... The Republicans always talk mental illness when evil like this happens, and we need to put prayer back in schools and return to Jesus. Well, Jesus is waiting for Congress to take action regarding the easy access of guns by the mentally unstable, and you preached a sermon right there, KB Browns. Come on with that sermon and tell the truth and shame the devil. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to get us to understand there's so much more. You also heard that the shooter murdered his grandmother, and Kim Possible, I heard that too. Now, I did another story. Now, which one is true? It was reported to me. Now, which one is true? I don't know. He did attempt to murder her, but my understanding was that she was life flighted out and did survive as of the time of that reporting. So, but my original, I heard too that she had been murdered by him. Nonetheless, whatever, she's close to death and he did it. How about that? We do know that she's close to death or dead, and he did it. So it is really, really a serious situation. It's too much. We're all struggling watching all this abuse and violence. And this is an area as well, Tall Pumps, because think of the survivors of the children that were there, that saw their classmates murdered, that had to see teachers and classmates' bodies laying in the floor dead. I mean, that's not something that you're going to wake up tomorrow and be okay. Think of the parents that were waiting, and even the ones that had to give the DNA before they could get the children back. I mean, I just can't even imagine that. I saw one gentleman and his wife. They were just so in a state of emotional devastation, crying, and they're one of the ones that had to give the DNA. But in the meantime, they had no indication of the welfare of a child. I can't imagine what that felt like. I cannot imagine what that felt. And to have to prove this is my child. You know, did we do that everywhere? Did Sandy Hook have to prove that was their child? Inquiring minds want to know. Did some of these other schools have to prove that was their child? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. At the end of the day, this TC Cooper 2685, come on in the room, come on in the Lion's Den, and we appreciate you for coming in. Your doctor now asks about my mental health and now works with my therapist. Go Ratty, that is beautiful. And I think that's the kind of we need to see that mix. We need to see that interconnectedness between disciplines where the therapist for your mental health is concerned and working and connected to your doctor that deals with your physical health. I feel like all of this needs to be interconnected because we are body, mind, soul, spirit, and it's all connected, and we need to have all of it addressed. We need to have all of it taken care of. And the right hand needs to know what the left hand is doing so we don't over medicate, so we're not giving out medications that, you got people that'll go in and try to work the system. There needs to be an interdisciplinary scenario, a system established, but our whole totality of humanity needs to be addressed, not just this, but not that, and that, but not this. It all needs to work together. So kudos to your physicians and your caretakers that are doing that. So I appreciate. Mental stability is at its lowest. Help is available and needed. Come on, Cassandra, say that thing, say that. So as we come down, every time the phone rings from my child's school, your heart drops. Now that is trauma. Tall Pumps. It's sad, but it's true. When your telephone rings and you see your school on it. And I'm going to say this even for my family situation. My little great nephew, one day we were all in prayer because we got the dreaded message that his school was on lockdown. it ended up being an all clear, but at the end of the day, his school ended up being on lockdown, and so you're sitting and you're thinking, you just wait and wait and wait. And I believe it was some hours before we actually got word. My sister, his grandmother, reached out to us and, prayer for his school, because we just got a call and they wouldn't give any further information. And I think they did identify a possible shooter event. But at the end of the day, you just get that phone call and then you just sit there and wait and wait and wait and finally breathe that sigh of relief once you get the all clear. But even in that, you don't know, you might not get that all clear, and it might not be that your child is going to come home. We have got to address this, because it's trauma for everybody involved. So, and there is something wrong when just a phone call can trigger you. And this is the world that we have created in this country, and it must be addressed. We cannot continue to allow the NRA, gun lobbyists, and everybody that's so worried about their Second Amendment rights. We need to address this seriously. Honey, he wrecked his car outside the school, and that was just crazy. That was just insane. So at the end of the day, mental health is an issue. Ted Cruz seems to miss I could have a whole dissertation on Ted Cruz. I just won't. So at the end of the day, his grandma is still in critical condition. Thank you for that. So at the end of the day, let me come on down. I'm looking and I'm checking it out. I want to catch up and get to our conversation for today. Because at the end of the day, y'all, good morning, Shelly Thunder. Come on in here. Now, at the end of the day, this is why we're talking about boss energy, because I really firmly believe that we're not just talking about boss energy to say and flaunt that we have it. Boss energy is an awareness that we're coming into, because if there's a change that's going to come. Good morning, Michelle Browno. Come on in here, sis. So much mad love to you. That's my quiet storm. We're not just in here with boss energy to talk about boss energy and flaunt the idea and concept that we have it. We are here to make a change. I firmly believe that with all my heart. We are here to make a change. Simply, I'm going to read. I admit, in a public space, a drill team event over the weekend, you felt concerned and anxious of gunshots, not because there was a threat, but just what was going on. And yeah, you can be in some situations in these schools that really make you extremely uncomfortable, and you never know what's going to happen and break out. So I get it. I absolutely get it. Now, this is what I want to talk about. And again, I want to thank Chazzy Licious for her warm welcoming of myself and those of us from the Lion's Den that fellowshipped with Chazzy Licious is cooking in her space on yesterday. We had a beautiful time. We're going to keep talking about boss energy, and this is the time for action. It's not the time just to talk and bump your gums. I need you to take your boss energy and the passion, the purpose that's on your life. I need you to fulfill it. I need you to move into the realm of activating that boss energy and making it happen. So as we look at come on, there it is. You just said something key right there. The world we have created. This is the world that we have created. And that's what needs to be addressed first. So if we created that world, we can create another one. I'm reminded of the old saying that says, to create a new reality, you must create one to replace an old reality. You must create a new reality that makes the old reality obsolete. I'm going to say that again. To replace an old reality, you must create a new reality that makes that old reality obsolete. So I'm on this point because again, I'm ready with boss energy, and folks that know that they have boss energy. Even after the stream on yesterday, had a beautiful conversation with Chazzy. I love that, sis. We had a beautiful conversation on the phone because sister has visions, ideas, and dreams, things that can make a change in this world. It's not just about cooking food, but it's all of the other places and all of the other things that we we look at and say, okay, we have an opportunity to activate this boss energy and dreams and visions. I want to speak to those of you that are in here today that have dreams and visions. It's time for dreams and visions to activate. I just cannot tell you that enough. It's time for dreams and visions to activate, because the only way we're going to change WINS 2000, this world that we have created, is that we're going to have to create a new reality that makes that old reality obsolete. I'm not trying to fix up what we got. I'm not. Y'all can if you want to. You can keep hollering and screaming. And yes, I'm going to vote. I'm going to do all of those things. I'm going to make my voice heard. I'm going to make my voice count. I'm going to be in the system as much as I can to make the changes from within the system. But I'm not solely looking for change to happen from within the system. I told you before, even as far as my ministry, I've never, and I am not that black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. I'm not for the sheep. I'm for the lions. There are people for everybody. There are ministries for everybody. The ministry for the preachers that are for the sheep, y'all keep the sheep together. I'm called to the lions and to wake up the lions. That's my call, is to wake up the lions. And there's no problem. Come on, Barbara Hardy. I see you coming in the room. So much love to you. The lion and the lamb are laying down together in this last day. So we're not fighting each other, but just understand, I understand my assignment. To all of those that are still leading the sheep, keep doing what you're doing. I know I'm called to wake up the lions. Why am I called to wake up the lions? Because boss energy resides in us, and it's boss energy that's going to make the change. Understand, sheep follow. You understand what I'm saying? Sheep follow. So sheep are going to continue to follow from that trajectory of somebody show me the way to go, and we're just going to fall in line behind it. That's not my calling. I'm talking to sheep. I'm talking rather to lions. I'm talking to lions that know how to get up and roar righteously and say, okay, we are the king of the jungle, and we take care of the village. We take care of the family. We take care of the neighborhood. We take care of all of these different levels. Y'all can keep on following, and let us create a reality that can replace this one and make it obsolete, because the reality that y'all following is not working. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? This current system is not working, WINS 2000. So at the end of the day, I'm waking up lions, and I'm saying for dreams and visions. In the last days, you're going to have dreams, visions. Come on. I need you to activate that boss energy. Now, this is what we talked about on yesterday, and I'm going to say it again here and kind of bounce and continue to project off of that. We were talking about in Chazzylicious is Cooking, we were talking about contracts and making a contract with yourself. And this is the thing I want us to identify. This is the thing I want us to understand. When we talk about setting up for different areas of moving forward, when we talk about different areas of, I'm gonna go off camera just for a second, because I see something I need to handle, and then I'm gonna come right back. But I'm gonna keep on talking. I see and I understand we have all of these different areas and all of these different places that we operate and we abide and reside in. But at the end of the day, I want us to recognize those dreams and those visions that you have. Those dreams and those visions that you have and have been given are intended for you to activate that stuff. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Activate that stuff. So I said, listen, it's time to make contracts with ourselves. We make contracts with everybody else, but you won't make a contract with yourself. So we talked about it from the standpoint of, listen, write the vision, make it plain. Now, the vision, and this is what I want to clarify, the vision and the contract to me are two different places and two different things. The vision and the contract are two different places and do two different things. So this is what I want you to understand. Write the vision and make it plain. Please do that, because if you can't understand what it is that you're doing, if you can't understand what it is that your end goal is, what's the end game, what's the assignment, assignment. If you don't understand the assignment, you surely cannot execute it. But this is the difference between the contract and the vision. The contract is something that I want you to begin. Come on, Phantom. Good to see you. I want you to understand that once you've written the vision, I want you to make a contract with yourself so that, listen, as I say, that contract determines who does what and when, who is responsible and accountable for this, that, and the other, the time frames that are involved. I'm dealing with all of that and making sure if you want to be happy, I'm going to be my first client that I'm going to deal with. Get that in your mind. I am my first client before I deal with anything else in my world, before I deal with anything else in my life. I'm going to deal with myself as my first client, and I want a happy client. I want a happy client. Do you understand? I want to be as a client for myself that I've made a contract with. I want to be a happy client. I'm not in this system of continuing to take care of everybody else's needs, everybody else's wants, everybody else's this, that, and the other. I'm in a situation where I'm going to make myself my first priority. Listen, this is something that we hear all the time from King Coogee. Love yourself first every day. Love yourself first. Zahando 87, welcome in. So glad to have you. We've been praying for them all day. Thank you so much for that. Love yourself first every day. So I love you too, Chazzy. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next go round. I just want to say this too with Chazzylicious. We're going to be coming back to her channel on a regular. So I want you all to look for us, look for the announcements, but we will be there. We will be there. We will be there with Chazzylicious is cooking on a regular going forward. So you all look for that, and I'll keep you apprised of that as well. Love you, sis, and you have a great day. So listen, you can't boss up on others before you boss up on yourself, Pink Assassins. And there you go. You cannot, if you're not doing it for yourself. And there are some of us that's all we do. We always take care of everybody else's needs, everybody else's wants, everybody else's whatever, before you'll take care of yourself. But this is something that I want you to start understanding. Listen, put your mask on first. Put your oxygen mask on first so you don't find yourself rendered unconscious because you're trying to help everybody else get their mask on, and then bam, there you are out there unconscious yourself. Put your mask on first and take care of business in your house. Make the contract with yourself first and then move on to where you're going. So this is something I want us to understand. When you talk about the contract, STL, what are you saying to me? Listen, I used to have and operated an event establishment. And contracts were key. The contract said, this is what I'm going to provide to you, and this is what you are expected to provide, or this is what is expected of you. And we're signing this contract together. And at the end of the day, for me to be happy and for you to be happy, everybody needs to execute their end of the contract, whatever the contract stipulates. But this is the key. Whenever something broke down, and whenever something didn't go exactly right, what was it that we went back to when we dealt with, I'm unhappy either as the venue owner or I'm unhappy as the client? What we went back to was what? The contract. The contract is what's put out there to keep everybody happy. And this is what I want you to understand about your own life. Some of us are like, I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. Listen, I want you to write a contract and identify those personal areas that you need to fit and put in that contract. And this is the agreement you're going to make with yourself. Okay. And then when you find yourself unhappy, I want you to go back and look at the contract. Are you fulfilling? Are you accountable? Are you doing the things in your contract? And this is something I want you to do some introspection. This is something really first and foremost. One one of the things I talk about is anchoring the core. And when I say that, I'm saying that from a spiritual standpoint, not churchy, not religious, spiritual connection, understanding, being connected, and get yourself in an alignment. And then after you got yourself aligned, because sometimes it's hard to figure out the assignment when you're off key. It's hard to understand the assignment when you're off balance. Get yourself balanced spiritually, so you can hear clearly, so you can see clearly, so you can understand clearly, so you can move by your shando and not by your emotions, not by your vision, not by, I'll need you to understand the ability to sense, to allow that sensing to be a part of your journey. I'm not saying all of it. I'm not going there, because there are some basics that you need to be able to look at some numbers. You ought to be able to do some very practical things, but some things are not going to follow that practical mind head kind of thing. Some things you're gonna need to feel down in your shando, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, once you get that, once you are anchored in your core, that core must be balanced. If you out here flying off and you every way, this way, that way, unstable, there's somebody that said a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. If you wishy-washy and you haven't clarity in your mind and you don't know what's going on, baby, if you just out here flapping in the wind, you're not ready. Yeah, baby, you're not ready. You're not ready. Wait until you get ready. There's a season and a time for everything, but you can get ready. Don't just sit there and rest on your laurels. Get up and get busy and start moving towards your destiny. But this is what I want you to understand. Now, once you get that clarity of vision, and once you understand your assignment and you're ready to move forward, and you understand boss energy, I want you to understand that the power is in you to accomplish everything that's assigned to your passion and your purpose, your vision and your dream. With every vision comes provision. You got boss energy to make that thing happen. Somewhere I want you to stop, and before you start the journey, get a contract with yourself, just like you would doing business with anybody else. I want you to stop and get a contract with yourself. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Sit down and make that contract. Now, that contract is going to be relative to you. Understand that when I dealt with my business, I had the understanding, let's write this according to what your needs are. This person may have had this need, and so that was written into the contract, while the other person may have had something else, and that was written into their contract. So I want you to understand it from the standpoint, every contract is not a rubber stamp contract. You got to sit down, and that's why I said do some introspection and then come into a place. Oh, listen, you ain't said nothing but a word, Phantom. Balance is necessary. And anybody that knows my mission statement, the mission statement that I have, to deconstruct the walls between the sacred and the secular, to breed, and the first thing I say is balance, and to breed freedom, and to breed success. Because if you can get balanced and you can get free to do what it is that you're created and called to do, you can be successful. So balance is absolutely necessary. So yes, we covered that in the teaching, but I want you to understand, make that contract with yourself. So let me give you an example of my contract, because I promise you, give yourself those deliverables. Understand what the deliverables are in that contract. Put yourself on some time constraints. What's the time expectation? What? Get all of that in that contract with yourself, because some of you never get started because you never put an end date on it. And you're always going to get to it. You're always going to do it. Good morning, Brown Eyes 777. You're always going to, but you never get it done. I need you to put some time dates on some of that stuff that you really need to execute. So let me give you this as an example. I am a creative, and I don't have a problem sharing this. I am a creative. So a lot of times when I come up with an idea, by the time I really get into that idea, I've already thought 5, 10 more ideas. And so this is an area that I write in my contract with myself. So with being a creative like that, it's not uncommon that I may get into a phase and get into a stage where I'm flowing and going, and then I will flow right on into the next before this one is completed. And as I said on yesterday with Chazzylicious, and I may have said it here, I find myself sometimes handing off a baby that's not fully mature, handing off a baby that's not fully ready, handing off a baby that still is nursing or still needs formula, whatever you want to put in there. But at the end of the day, handing off a baby that's not ready. And it came to me at one point, you're handing off babies, and then you got to pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Everybody can't handle your baby. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Everybody can't handle your baby, because even in this scenario and even in this analogy, you got folks that will molest your child. So at the end of the day, oh, that's a word for somebody. Some of y'all giving your visions and dreams to folk, and they are molesting your baby. That's all I'm going to say about that. At the end of the day, what I had to realize was like, girl, you are birthing stuff and you're giving it and putting it in people's hands that cannot handle the baby that you have. They do not have the wherewithal, nor is it time, nor the maturity of the baby is not ready. So at the end of the day, I'm accountable because that's my baby. And this is where some of us need to understand, that's my baby. I can't just go on to the next one until I've made sure that this baby is provided for, mature, able to stand alone, and not about to be molested. So this is a place, and I'm connecting that to completion. I'm saying to this, listen, at the end of the day, you have to stop. Come on, Kim, don't let other people molest your dream or idea. And y'all have to be careful, because listen, I'm gonna say this even here on Twitch. Focus, slide in on your vision, they'll slide in on your dream, they'll molest that thing and then go on about their business after they done traumatized your baby. Y'all pay attention. Everybody, come on now, come on. That's why you need that balance. That's why you got to anchor the core at the beginning, because let me tell you, you will have wolves in sheep's clothing. But listen, I'm not sitting, because my shondo, y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. My shondo more times than not will ding, 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 before the person ever cues something off that something is amiss. My ding, 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 and it'd be like, okay, well, you better watch, you better pay attention. And in almost every situation, it manifests just as I saw it. So at the end of the day, I had to recognize, stop handing off your dream to people that, number one, they're not ready. And number two, get this thing to maturity. Get this baby to maturity. Don't just leave it out here. Baby, I said it, Michelle. Get this thing to a place that it can stand, it can walk, it can talk, it can exist on its own. And then go on to the next. So listen, this is what I had to come in my contract. I will consistently see my projects through to completion. And when I say completion, I'm saying to the point where it's mature enough to stand, walk, talk, think, and operate on its own before I move away from it. So I need y'all to hear me when I say that. So at the end of the day, that's in my contract, because that's relative to me. That may not fit your thing. I have to be clear in my contract to understand. Listen, do not procrastinate. And I said, even on yesterday, I'm in a phase right now where I'm doing more going to the positive versus the negative, because I was raised in the negative. But listen, so what I mean when I say that, instead of saying what I won't do, say what I will do. I will see this thing. I will not procrastinate. I will act as I feel, as I understand that movement is required. I will act. I will take action. I will get it done, because I'm telling you what, there have been times when I've thought of something 10 years ago, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And some of y'all way overthink it, because you just keep on writing. You just keep on writing. You just, okay, the vision is plain. Or are you confused? What's going on here? Or are you just in a state of fear? Fear will paralyze you. There is a paralysis that goes along with fear. That's why perfect love casts out fear. Fear has torment. Fear keeps you stuck in one place. Fear will just keep you spinning your wheels and not making any progress. Fear will do that to you. So at the end of the day, there's that place where you say, I will take action, because 10 years later, it'll be like, and somebody came out with that thing that God gave me 10 years ago. Am I talking to anybody? God gave it to me 10 years ago. And then when you see it manifest, it's like, but you know, you see all of these, but it's like, hold your tongue. Because what did you want the universe to do? Wait till you finally get up and decide it's time to get, no ma'am, no sir. The universe, when it brings so many creative ideas to your mind, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to the timing, the putting it out there, the perfecting of it. And listen, I'm going to say this because somebody needs to hear it. I will get it done, Kim. I will get it done. Miss Frosty, one pastor stated, be careful who's sitting at the table with others. Discernment. Come on here. We talked about that on your stream yesterday. Come on, Wins 2000, because fear is a liar. At the end of the day, I want you to understand that there are iterations. And this is something that I've taken away as I look at technology, and technology is constantly moving. Technology is driving the world right now. For real, technology. But how does technology work? Very different from school of old. And some of us are still operating from the schools of old. You want to have everything perfectly lined out, everything perfectly identified. Then you want to launch. But this is what technology does. Think about your phone. They launched that phone, even though they know it still has bugs and this and that and the other. They launched that phone anyway and put it on the market, knowing full well they're going to give you updates. So soon after you get the phone, some of y'all know the truth. DJ Varmar is in the house. Come on in here, my friend. So glad to have you. Please follow DJ Varmar. Blessings on the way if you do. Now, what do? They put that iteration, that first generation of the phone out there, and they put it on the market. And at the end of the day, what happens is, I remember taking my phone out of the case, out of the box, and immediately it had updates. Come on in here, Mino 3782. So much love to you. Immediately it had updates, because from the time they had packaged it till the time that I bought it, they already had made new updates for that. And so I want you to understand, don't just sit there on it. Don't just sit there and look at it. Put your vision, put your dream in motion. You can always do updates. Am I talking to anybody? Then not only will they do that, when they really are ready to go on to the next iteration, the second generation, they just come out and they push that out. Am I talking to anybody? And then how do a lot of times they come up with these areas? I was doing something with, I'm in the process of working on something in tech. And they said, this is how you know what you want to add. This is how you know what you want to tweak. The customers will tell you what they want. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? When you begin to get repeated requests, when you begin to get repeated input, this is what we want. That's what we want. Drive in that direction. Give the people what they want. And this is a place, because some of y'all don't pay any attention to the people. The people are telling you all the while, we want this, but we don't want that. We don't want that, but we want this. But you get in your mind, this is my baby and I'm going to do it. Baby, as they said, this is how you learn how to make those updates and when to make those updates based on your people that are actually using that product. So at the end of the day, as you get out here and you launch your dream, and it's like, okay, now again, I'm going to go back to anchor your core. I need your Shondo to be fully activated. Understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I need your Shondo to be fully activated, but then pay attention to the people. Some of us, listen, and even where it comes to the point where, the people, and then you think you made it, and then you forget about the people, baby, the people will drop you like a hot potato. You got to pay attention to the people, because they're the ones that are helping you drive this ship. Am I talking to anybody? They're the ones that are helping you to understand what iterations you're ready to go into a whole nother, man. It's so many things we need to change here. We need a whole nother generation. or you have that team, let me stay there, that's still in that creative process. They're still thinking about the next step. They're still thinking about where do we go from here? Because baby, if you're not forward thinking, if you're not thinking ahead and looking ahead, you will be sitting there dead on the vine, and you'll have a season and a shelf life of just a few days. And the next thing you turn around, you are no longer relevant, and the ship has went off without you, and you just sitting there looking like, what just happened here? Baby, you got to stay forward thinking. You got to stay connected to the people and what the people want. Am I talking to anybody? I need you to understand. Go ahead. Come on here. I see you, D. Who said that? Brown eyes. Move forward with flaws and all. That is a word right there. Move forward with flaws and all, because you can update that joker. But too many fear. I'm going to go back to fear. I don't have it perfected yet. Baby, it ain't never going to be perfected. You're going to be working on that. And some of you find yourself on that that rat wheel where you just keep tracing and chasing because you're trying perfection. You know, I'm a perfectionist. Perfection is going to leave you right there on that rat wheel, or you're gonna be chasing that carrot and never catch it. Baby, put that thing out there with flaws and then update. So I want you to understand, you had friends and family who loved me when you gave them money and paid for everything. Once you fell on your face, they laughed since then. Come on, I hear you, and you don't share with anyone. But I'm gonna tell you what, Go Ratty, God's gonna hook you up with the right people that are gonna be there for you and support you, that are not gonna laugh at you and support you on your entire journey. I just need you to hear that today. God did an update after man messed up in the garden. Come on here. That's what we can call systems development, the agile methodology. Come on. And we did a whole session here about agile environments last year. I want to say probably might have even been this time last year. We talked about agile environments and we walked through that thing. We got to get that agile methodology implemented in the way that we operate. Some of y'all, again, when we start talking about agile environment, you may need to go out and start to update your understanding, because you still trying to do what we did back in 1982. This is 2022. I need you to understand the seasons and the times and how to flow and how to go. Come on, move in silence. I love that too. And with purpose. I'm with you on that, Go Ratty. So I want you to understand, you work in DevOps. Come on here, Go Ratty. We need to talk. I need to talk to you, man. I need to talk to you because I'm working on something right now. I just need to pick your brain. God will give, and let me say this, God will give you the sources. He'll give you the networks. He'll give you the people that have what you don't do, what you don't know, what you don't have. All I need you to do is start walking. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Just start walking. Make that contract with yourself. However, I'm going to go back to that before we get out of here, because we're getting ready to go over to Rebel. And yes, she's got bangos and videos this morning, anti-morning bangos. We're getting ready to go over there. But I want you to, some folks still got that rotary phone. And we can take that symbolically. Some people are still on that rotary front. Listen, some folks still got the can I go here? What's the line where everybody, you can hear everybody on the line? I can't think of the word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of us still party line. Some of us are still on party line, and you can't get to where you're going because you hear all of those voices, all of those people, all of that chatter in your head on the party line. You ain't even got to on the get off the party line and get a contract with yourself. Come on. Thank you, Wins 2000. Not three-way, party line. I'm further back than three-way. KB, you must be kind of young. You don't know about that party line. You got all of these voices that you hear talking at the same time. Talking, hollering, screaming, listening to everybody's conversation. And no. I need you to come on up to today's technology. I need you to come up to today's methodology. I need you to start with this contract. Come on, 1-800-555-WORD. I need you to come to this contract with yourself. And we're going to talk about it some more. We're going to get into it even deeper, but I just want to go back and recap. The contract is critically important because it determines who's doing what the expectations are, the deliverables. I need to know what the expectations and put some time limits, put some dates on that thing. Because at the end of the day, the answer to whether or not this event was successful was whether or not everybody, both me as the event holder and the person as my client, did we all meet the deliverables? You got to get that accountability in there. Was the contract executed? That's what makes the happy or the sad. Was that contract absolutely followed? And think about it, negotiate, understand what you need to put in there. Baby doll, he calls me. Come on in here. It is so good to see you. So much love. Come on. I'm glad I'm speaking to you today because it's your time, baby doll. He calls me. It's your time. Get out there and the dreams and the visions. Come on. Receive it. Receive it. Receive it. Do it. Because listen, you got boss energy. You can do that thing, baby doll. You can do that thing. So come on, make that contract with yourself and then execute it. Are you hearing me? That again is what makes the difference between me being happy as a client or me being upset and frustrated as a client. Was that contract that I negotiated, was it executed? I promise you, if you'll be your first client, if you'll be the first person that you make that contract with and execute it consistently, you will be happy. You will come into a place where you'll manifest that boss energy, y'all. And I'm encouraging you, put some serious thought into it. Put some serious thought. Don't play with yourself. To thine own self be true. That's what Fairly All Day said yesterday in Chazzylicious as we were having this conversation. She said, I never really thought about it as a contract before, but this is something that I live by. To thine own self be true. Even when you make this contract, y'all, don't play with yourself. Don't play. Be transparent. Be truthful, be honest, because I'm telling you, those are the things that are going to win in this season. Playing games and fronting and facades, those days are over. What's going to really take us into this next iteration, into this next created existence that we want to have, when we talk about how do you replace that old, we're creating the new that makes that old obsolete. And this new is rooted in truthfulness, in honesty, in transparency, in dealing with the real stuff. Ain't no shake it till you fake it till you make it. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Truthfulness, Fairly All Day. Truthfulness. Come on, KB Browns. Don't lie to yourself. Cassandra, this is the time. This is the season. We're doing this thing. Now, remember what I said. Once you make this contract, for those of you that would continue to procrastinate, those days are over too. Put that first iteration out there, knowing full well down the road you're going to update, but that's okay. Put it out there anyway. No clown mask. Y'all better come on here. Y'all preaching up in here. Roar righteously. That's the season that we're in, because faking it ain't it. Listen, it just won't do. It just won't do. I love y'all. Now hang on and ride this raid train with me, because we're going over to the Rebel Inc., who is having anti-morning bangos. Y'all gonna be cracking up in here. Bangos, Brown Eyes, I love you so much. Pink Assassin, I love y'all. Baby Doll, I love every last one of you that are in here. And listen, by divine assignment and divine appointment, you're here. It's no accident, but every time it's a divine assignment and a divine appointment. Thank you for being here with me this morning. Go Ratty, you wrote a contract for yourself and leave it in a pic. But come on, I love that. Go Ratty, you my kind of guy. We got to talk. We got to hook up. I love you so much. Come on, Mino 3782, KB Browns, I love y'all. Cassandra, come on, we gonna get up out of here, and this is how we do it, y'all. This is how we do it. Oh, that's the wrong one. I feel for my brother, and I feel feel for my sister. This has been another edition of Yes You O Cube. One-on-one, it's just me and you with your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. I'm so glad that you came in to join me on this fine day where we're talking about activating this boss energy. It's enough talking about boss energy, this, that, and the other. Baby, we got boss energy. Activate. That's where we are today, y'all. So this is the time, this is the season, this is the place we're doing this thing. Now you can follow me because I'm out there. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more, y'all. I'm out there. And you know the mantra here in the Lion's Den, we don't have intimidation, we don't have a spirit of fear, we have power, we have love, we have a sound mind. And that being said, we know as lions we roar righteously, and we are all powerful in love. At the end of the day, we don't just talk about change, we plan to be the change. And we're not in this thing alone. This pride, Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're gonna hear us roar. You are not alone. It's us, you, me, we all, because we all in this thing together. So at the end of the day, I want to appreciate everybody that's come in to be a blessing in the Lion's Den and receive a blessing from the Lion's Den. I just want you to know I love you, I love you, I love you. DJ Tantrum, I see you. Come on in here. So much love to you. Thank you for coming in. He is a streamer. Please follow. Please follow. He'll bless your whole life. Now, one reason, thank you for that. Thank you for that raid, sir. Thank you for that raid. I surely appreciate you. Now, the den of activity, not the den of iniquity, but the den of activity has been busy today, and I appreciate your lion support. With that, I want to thank you, KB Browns. I want to thank you, Baby Doll, he calls me. I want to thank you, Pink Assassins, for those roaring biddies. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. The Rebel Inc., Michelle Browno, Shelly Thunder, these ladies keep us the blessed trinity. They keep the Lion's Den in order. I love my moderators. Thank you for the new follow, Fuzzy Slippers. Come on, without nothing to lose. Come on, I appreciate you. Those re-ups, BTD Mom, Kai Chick, and Misty Blue, thank you for those resubs. One reason, the Bishop of Twitch, you know I show enough appreciate you for that raid. Mad love to you. Now, y'all have a blessed day, and as Shelly Thunder, my moderator, says, you have an amazing day on purpose, and you know how we leave you. Peace for your journey.